I think it's really patient determined. To give an example, I had a guy come in recently that's he's a game hunter, a shooter. So he
Mm,
goes away for weeks at a time and he's in the bush and he
mm, mm,
wants to wear contact lenses in that environment because it rains and he's camping and it's dirty and stuff. And for him, we went through a fitting process and fitted him with an extended wear lens. And that's one that he can leave in for 24 hours at a time and he can leave in for up to a week at a time. And we went through a fitting process with that. I don't have very many people wearing extended wear, but and he doesn't wear it full time. He only wears it for these week excursions or 10-day
mm,
excursions a couple of times a year, which is in
mm.
my comfort zone of being safe to fit. So we fitted him with these lenses, and that's the only time he wears them. He wears them when he goes away, goes hunting. And whether you believe in hunting or not, it's a personal thing. But for this guy, he does. That's his hobby. That's his passion. And as such, I try to make it safer for him and more appropriate for him. So I fitted him with a special type of contact lens just for that pastime or that hobby. I've got another lady that I can think of from last year that orders a month's worth of daily disposables a year.
Mm,
And we fitted her with those in particular because she wants to wear them diving. Her
mm,
passion is she goes away to the tropics, she goes scuba diving, and she has a month holiday a year and she scuba dives every day. So we fitted her with daily disposable lenses so she could see her regulator, so she could see her watch, so she knew how
mm,
long she'd been underwater and she could manage her airflow. And she could see the fish and the coral and the anemones and everything else that she was trying to look at underwater as well. And she has no interest in wearing contact lenses for the rest of the year. It's only for that period, and that's perfect. I'm happy to do that. If I've got someone else that's after contact lenses that they want to wear them for, and they might want to wear them full time, or they might want to wear them so they've got a chance of wearing them when they go out for lunch on a Sunday, then I fit that as well. So I think some people don't want to think about contact lenses because they don't want to give up on glasses and go to contact lenses. And the answer
mm,
is you can have both.
mm,
You don't wear the same pair of shoes all the time. You might have a
mm,
nice pair of Adidas shoes that you wear out, and you might
mm,
have a dress pair of shoes, and you might have, your day-to-day shoes as well. Why wouldn't it be that we could have glasses for day to day and we have contact lenses for going out? And if I go and do presentations at conferences, I'll often wear my contact lenses. I don't wear them all the time. I wear them like that. And I love going scuba diving with them. I love going free
mm,
diving with them and snorkeling with them. And I like wearing them when I'm kayaking, but I don't do that every day. I do that randomly. And most of the time I'm pretty happy in my glasses, but there are certain activities that I do that I love wearing contact lenses for.
mm,
So there's no reason. So one of the questions I ask people is there something is there a time that you would like to not be wearing glasses? Is there a time that you think glasses are a pain or something that make life a bit more challenging? And
mm.
what would that be? And if we could fix that with you with contact lenses, would that be something you're interested in? And sometimes people go, yeah, that'd be great. And then we go down the process of doing a fit and try and work it out. Other times people go, oh, no, I could never wear contact lenses. But the answer is everyone could wear contact lenses. You've got to have a bit of motivation.
Mm,
But some people have got a phobia about their eyes and they don't want to
mm.
touch their eyes with contact lenses, but that's okay too. I had a guy
Um,
in today that was fitted with contact lenses by Adam before he left, and he's still struggling getting them in. So he can wear them, he loves them, but he's having trouble. And I just said, oh, you need to come in for another training session. He said, I've had 2 training sessions. I said, sometimes you need 3, sometimes you need 5. You know, the most I've done is I think I've done a dozen training sessions for a 94-year-old lady that wanted to wear contact lenses so she could go dancing. And we eventually succeeded, and she could put her contact lenses in and out. It just took her a little bit longer to grasp the technique,
mm,
but that was what that repetition of doing the training sessions over and over achieved.
right. So it seems like soft contact lenses are really quite popular now. But do you still prescribe RGB lenses, the so-called hard contacts, rigid gas permeable lenses? Do you get any patients who wear
Yeah,
those, and why?
absolutely. So um, I've got a range of patients that we would use an RGP lens for instead.
Mm,
And I've actually been working a little bit more with some newer technology in the last few months just because we bought the new Pentacam, which is
mm,
a corneal scanning device. And it allows a larger amount of capture of the shape of the cornea, but also the sclera or the white of the eye that surrounds the cornea. So I've been designing these large size corneal lenses for patients using a wave platform, which is a technology that's integrated
mm,
into the Pentacam.
mm,
So the second thing it can do is it can do a scleral lens, and these could be up to 18.5 mils in diameter. And the scleral lenses are designed with an asymmetric nature that's because it measures your sclera in 50 different parameters going around the eye. So it can make a contact lens that is customized to each part of your radius around your eye. So
mm,
it's amazing stuff. And some of the contact lenses that I'm getting are working first time from that process, which is highly unusual. And I don't expect that, and I tell patients not to expect it. Other ones, we've got to tweak them with a power or we've got to adjust the size or the fit a little bit. But as I'm doing more and more of these, I'm getting a much higher first and second fit process as well.
mm,
But it takes time. I had someone unhappy the other day. and very grumpy that it had taken me too long to do. But it takes time to design these lenses. It takes time to confer and get the right answer. And I perhaps didn't make it clear to this particular gentleman that it was going to take time, and I upset him, and I apologise for that. But I'm only one person, and I can only do so much. Um, so, but compare that to the amount of time you might have had to have doing a 5 different fitting processes. Or I had a guy in recently from up north that we fitted with new lenses with, and first one was good. I did a slight tweak, and we did a second fitting, so 2 fit success. And he said the last time he had contact lenses, they'd had 10 tries at it, and he still wasn't happy at the end. It still wasn't great. So I think by me taking longer to design them in the first place, we get a better outcome and a faster fit success rate. So I guess you sort of it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. I take longer to start the lens or get the lens created, but then the fit it works really, really rapidly versus what we do before, which is have a go, modify a little bit, have another go, modify a little bit, and it goes on like a cycle.
So just putting scleral lenses to one side for a minute, because like
Mm,
this, a specific use case for those. But
yeah.
if we're just talking about like the regular RGB hard contact lenses,
Yes.
are you saying that each of those is custom made? Because one of the reasons I've heard for using RGBs is because they are custom made. You can get like 100% accuracy.
Yeah.
That
It's
little extra accuracy than you would with an off-the-shelf soft contact lens, for example.
Absolutely. So they're more custom made, even with ordinary old school RGPs, but
Mm,
they still have limited parameters. And you might have those parameters. You might be able to do a toric back surface so it fits the
mm,
eye better. And
mm,
you might be able to tuck in the periphery of the contact lens to make it tighter where it flares, or you might be able to lift it a bit if it's too tight. There's lots of things we could do with traditional contact lenses. The newer technology does that in a freeform way. So it's
mm,
effectively a computer, a CNC cutting machine that cuts these lenses from a computer program.
mm.
So you design it in a computer, you create the lens, it gets a weird shape cut about it by using a CNC cutting machine, and then they get polished and they get delivered. So the level of individuality is off the charts, and it's a freeform lens, which people talk about spectacle lenses, some of them being freeform, which is again using that higher level computer controlled lathes and cutting machines to create them. Contact lenses are in the same realm now. And that's what I've been experimenting most with. But I do both. I do old school and I do new school. I had a guy in today that we've fitted with him with some large size corneal RGPs, rigid gas permeables, and he's had those for 5 or 6 years from me. And I said to him, look, I want to do some calculating, and I'm going to try and do a wave calculation, which is this free form calculation. And I'll give you 2 prices. I'll work out what it might cost going through both the old system and the new system, and I'll give you a price of each, and you can make a decision on which way you want to go. And one of the advantages of the wave system is it's going to fit a bit better. It's going to be more comfortable. That's going to be more healthy, and the vision is more stable and more clear.
So it's a bit like getting a tailor-made suit versus buying one off the rack. If you get a
Yes,
custom-made RGP, it's going to fit you like a glove. Then it'll fit your eye
that's
like a
right.
glove. Yeah.
The second thing to think about is if we're fitting these lenses and they're large enough, they
Mm,
mask distortions and they mask aberrations. So if we can do a lens that covers over a wobble in your cornea or a conical cornea like for keratoconus,
mm,
then you can't really fit advanced or severe keratoconus with soft contact lenses. Like I fit soft contact lenses on
mm.
keratoconic early cases, but not the more severe, more moderate cases. So having an RGP lens that we can do or a more customizable wave guided lens gives better vision and gets better results for those patients. But we still have to be careful. We still have to make sure that I can design all these lenses in the computer and they're great until I put them on an eye, and then the eye is different to the scans that we've done in some way, and we need to adjust things. So that's why there's always we have to fine tune the fit after they're delivered. I had a lady one that I did some wave lenses for just recently that we designed them, and she said much better vision than her old contact lenses. She was really happy with the comfort, but the vision was not to my satisfaction, so I had to adjust them. And those adjusted lenses have just come in today. So, that means that they should be even clearer again. And she's had those and she's been wearing them for 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. It's been a little bit of time. So, even a first fit can be better than the old lenses, and then it's still not to my satisfaction. So then there's a second fit which fine tunes it even further.
Well, I've never tried RGB hard contacts, but what I have heard some people say is that they maybe can be a little bit more challenging than soft contact lenses to get used to. So, what I have also heard of is that there's hybrid lenses, which kind of take the best of both worlds. Is that something that you use in your practice?
Yeah, I've fitted hybrid lenses. I don't fit a lot of them. I think I get more success with these large size.
mm,
corneal lenses than I do with the hybrids. But the hybrids work. They all have pros and they all have cons. Yeah.
mm,
Part of the cons with the hybrid lenses that we can get at the moment is they're all coming out of the US. Freight out of the US is nightmarish at the moment. So there's something
mm,
that I'm not going to be pushing heavily just because I don't know if I can get the lenses even, not consistently.
mm,
Um, and the patients that I fitted with them, I've had mixed. I've had some happy patients, but not long-term happy. I've had some patients that were not happy at all, and I've had other patients that were happy and long-term happy. So I've had a spectrum, if
mm,
that makes sense. With the RGP lenses, the rigid cornea lenses,
mm,
um, a lot of my patients that I'm seeing are existing wearers that are coming to me for a refit. So I'm trying to do better.
mm,
And then I've got patients that are unable to, or never had worn any RGP lenses, and they have lost vision due to keratoconus. They've got reduced vision, and they'll be a new fit and a brand new fit. And sometimes they're corneal lenses, and sometimes they're scleral lenses.